So we're going to do a pencil study here. We might do a few sort of test pieces in the middle or along the bottom, and then we're going to do a watercolour one here. Then next week we're going to do an acrylic one, so we'll use it in 3 different mediums. So the first thing to do is to sketch it out lightly. I say the watercolour paper has got that texture on it, so it will take a lot of graphite off your pencil. So we want a really nice light touch, and we want to do it be a little bit bigger than the photograph, which is your reference photo, but not huge, not to take up the whole of the piece of paper. So hold your pencil lower down the barrel, not right up by the point. Holding it loosely in your hand gives you much more flexibility. We don't want to hold it really tight because we can't move it very much then. We want to hold it. Oh, bye, see you. See you.
Catch you later on.
Okay.
Bye.
Sure. Bye.
So I'm just going to start very lightly. Don't go in too heavy because it's then harder to erase bits. So we're just blocking it in lightly in our pencil. My HB pencil first of all. So just a very, very light touch. You can probably hardly see this on the paper. Looking at the positions of these fruit, if anybody's working from life, sometimes putting a spotlight onto it helps to see the lights and darks. We've got a leaf here which is a bit curled up, very dark under here, it's difficult to see exactly what's happening. It curls up. So if you go a bit wrong, rub it out, get it looking right. Look where the stalks are going up. Let's see, we've got one up here that's a leaf. So very light touch. That's if we need to rub anything out, we can go in and get rid of it. If we're a bit heavy-handed with it, then we always make a mark into the paper and it's difficult to get rid of then. So, sort of sketched out. I'll just get a rubber just to adjust that leaf at the bottom. Just a normal pencil rubber. For this. So when you're happy with your proportions and so on, we can begin to look at shading it in. And it's the contrast between the lights and dark which will make your sketch look 3-dimensional. So this leaf obviously very dark in here, and that gives us that nice crisp line on the side of the fruit there. We've got a little bit of light bounce back onto this edge, but this area there is dark. This is very dark into there, and along that back edge it's sort of mid-tone. This is the lighter bit here. This one's very light on the edge, and then again we've got quite a shadow in here. So I always find it easier to start with the darker edges or darker areas, because we can go in and begin to put in that shadow, and it's the contrast between the shadow and the light that will make your picture look 3D. So this is quite dark in here, so more pressure, and we want a smooth transition from light to dark as well. But the texture of the paper will pull the graphite off your pencil quite nicely. So use your pencil at an angle, about what, 45 degrees. So we're not using the point, we're using the edge of the lead. If we go into too upright, we'll get a very fine line that we're making. If we're going in at an angle, we can get a much more softer line, covering more space. Probably when we do the stalks, we'll go in more upright because we're wanting to use the point. But in this area, we're using the side of the pencil lead to get that darker area in.
And that's HB?
This is HB, yeah. We're going to use the same pencil for everything. It's all about the pressure, which will give you the darker and the lighter one. So we've got a rough paper, because it's watercolour paper, but it's not going to give us a really smooth finish. If we wanted a really smooth finish, we'd use a smooth paper. But with this one, we're going to get it down fairly quickly, get that shading in. As I say, the watercolour paper makes it nice, a nice texture, makes it a little bit quicker as well. Put my stalk in here, so I'm using the pencil more upright, goes up to the little branch bit. That must be the stalk from the leaf under here as well, which twists over and it's quite dark. This is all about looking at what you're drawing. Your eyes should be flicking back and forth between your drawing and the subject matter, whether it's a photo or a picture or a still life or a scene, whatever it is, your eyes should be back and forth all the time, checking what you're drawing. Drawing, as I say, draw what you see, not what you know. And if you go a bit heavy, use your rubber as a tool to just lift off. Build up the darker areas, just going back over the edge of the pencil, because this one is really quite dark. Gives us the edge of this middle apple. Don't be afraid to go dark. So that's what will give you the contrast in it and make it look a lot more interesting, and it will make it look 3D. So with this one, again, we've got a dark patch here, we've got very light highlight coming here, and we've also got sort of some reflected light onto this edge, so it's this edge here isn't as dark as that middle one. So again, all these, we were working from some other photos last night and it got a little bit confusing, so I'll put those out today. Because the leaves were very light on it, so it's a bit harder to see the lights and darks. For these photos I adjusted them a little bit and up the contrast so they stood out better. Sometimes if you struggle to see the lights and darks, if you take a photo, even a photo of a photo, and just change it into black and white, it's a bit easier to see then. So I say it's quicker because of the watercolour paper texture. Shadow on this edge from that apple as well. So I'm just going on with my pencil a bit more upright there to get that edge in.